Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit Neptune. The transiting Neptune is in Quincunx with natal Saturn. The way the transiting Neptune behaves in Quincunx with natal Saturn depends on the position of the natal Saturn. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect with natal Saturn. But the basics are this. This transit affects a psychological way in which you lack the usual self-confidence, and strange foggy feelings that you can't even identify, creep through your blind spots and subtly erode your determination. Life can seem out of focus. If you have felt particularly mentally inspired but suspicious and uncomfortably frightened, you will feel the effects of this irritating quincunx that seems to disturb your inner peace. But if you bring your inner doubts and insecurities out into the world, you can increase your vulnerability and attract exactly what you are trying to avoid, which can make you a martyr for your cause. However, although you may feel a little shaky, don't be too strict with yourself. Suffering from insecurity and anxiety for no apparent reason changes your view of the world, causing great disorientation and confusion, resulting in fear and doubt about how you manage your life. It does this by requiring you to deal with your responsibilities, at the exact wrong time. Just when you shouldn't be doing it. Making you too full of self-doubt, so that you would not be productive, which leads you to run away, to fall into a trance, instead of pushing on. The second situation is that you become so numb to all the turmoil of the world, that you feel completely distant and transcendent. So the foundations in your life test you to be challenged to see things in a different light. You feel the urge to withdraw and isolate yourself, although it is not good to do so because the opinions of others are necessary to balance your current pessimistic views. You'd rather spend some time thinking about what's really important in life, but provided you make your thoughts known to the public. Now you have a choice. Will you be content with reality as it is, with all its flaws and imperfections, or will you continue to follow your ideal of perfection, no matter how impossible? You now see the importance in spiritual and esoteric values in life, not material ones. Even though you take care of your material needs, you also realize how little you actually need. The danger is that if you follow unrealistic dreams, it will keep you in a constant state of seeking inspiration without ever getting anywhere or doing anything about it, because nothing is ever as good as the dream version, and the more you deny external influences. Now, they are becoming more disproportionate or even intimidating. What this period still brings us are difficult to diagnose health problems. Be especially careful with foods and fluids you take in, and preparations to which you expose your skin, because the consequences of poisoning can be long-lasting, especially due to inability to determine the cause. Deceptive conditions and hidden factors at work, in places where you are in your presentation, can interfere with your work. If you are engaged in large financial transactions or are preparing for a certain contract signing, it would not be bad to wait for the passage of this period, precisely because of unrealistic visions. Because your public presentation will be marked as a time of great financial and personal losses. Let us just recall that certain downturns of major stock exchanges were accompanied by precisely this transit. So as this transit approaches, it is not the best time to look for a raise, get a new job or start an important new project, and if there are potential problems in your workplace, maybe you should try to solve them sooner. As we have already mentioned, life now becomes very emotional and disturbing, and all you can do is just stay focused and calm. Depression due to subconscious memories of unpleasant past experiences, and breaking and dissolving opinions and possessions with which you have previously identified. All of this teaches you that your existence does not depend on maintaining them. Even if you have worked hard to achieve your goals may suddenly lose their meaning or begin to seem like an impossible or stupid dream. In short, we can say that this situation brings a certain spiritual upgrade, which needs to be accepted or totally given up. For example, if someone challenges you in doubt and lowers your self-confidence, you should distance yourself from that person during that time because you already feel bad enough, and by the end of the transit you will realize that you don't need that person in your life at all, because this is the time to surround yourself with new and positive people.